Kerwin's Game Store, the best place in gaming.
How you doing? This is Luke. I'm with Steve. We're at Kerwin's Game Store here in Catskill, New York, right on Main Street. And today we're going to teach you how to play Tsuro of the Seas. Tsuro was a game that actually Steve and I were introduced to at the first PAX East, and from there we fell in love with it. It wasn't long after that I bought my copy of Tsuro. And then just recently, they kickstarted this game, and it got very popular once again. Tsuro of the Seas, very fun, plays relatively fast, anywhere between 20 to 40 minutes, and it can have 2 to 8 players. What makes Tsuro of the Sea different from Tsuro is that Tsuro of the Sea has these special creatures called Daikaiju. And Daikaiju are like sea monsters that go around the board, making the game a little more complex to play and a little more interactive, if you will. So Steve's going to be setting up 6 Daikaiju for the two of us. When you're playing 2 to 4 players, 6 of them go out on the board. And what he's going to do is he's rolling 2 dice, and the dice determine where the Daikaiju go. So the gold dice is represented by the gold numbers on the side of the board, and the blue die is representative of the die on the top of the board. So while he does that, what makes this also really cool are these very, very, very well-detailed pieces. Everyone has a ship. And the way it works is that we're going to have a hand of 3 tiles. And on these tiles are wakes. And the wakes are the path that our ship is going to follow. What we'll do is we'll set our ships up on one of these hash marks on the sides of the board. And then we will go in turn, rolling to see if the Daikaiju move, and then playing a wake tile and moving to the end of the wake. It doesn't matter who played the wake tile in front of your ship. If a tile is played in front of your ship, you will always move to the end of it.
Every time that I rolled a duplicate, I had to roll again.
Yes, yes. Can't place 2 Daikaiju in the same spot.
More players, fewer Daikaiju.
Yes. At any time, there can be no fewer than 3 Daikaiju on the board, which makes things very tricky. In terms of a 2-player game like ourselves, if Daikaiju end up off the board, which does happen, and we end up with fewer than 3, we actually have to pause, reset all the Daikaiju, and then start playing there again. So Steve already set his ship up on the side of the board. I'm going to use a bit more.
I'm going to get away from that big block of nasty.
I'm going to take one of the brighter colors here. I'm normally the guy that takes black because I'm like that. But I'll take this peach-colored ship. So first thing we have to do is we have to actually roll the Daikaiju.
Oh, they move on the first turn?
They move on the first turn. They actually flip after you're done setting them, and then they move on the first turn.
Well, I just wanted to see who went first. We rolled 4s.
We rolled 4s. All right. So what we'll do is we'll roll for the Daikaiju. So I rolled a 6. The Daikaiju move if you roll both dice together, and you get a 6, 7, or 8. And then what ends up happening is you
roll 1 die.
Yes, you roll. Thank you. You roll 1 die. All right, I rolled a 2. So what first happens is that all the Daikaiju rotate in the direction marked on the upper right-hand corner. Then in ascending order, they move.
1.
So 1's going to move in the direction of 2.
Because the 2 is on that arrow.
Yep. If you end up rolling a 6, because 6 is not on any of these cards, they end up not moving.
This 2 spins again. This 3 moves here and eats up the other Daikaiju.
Yep, this one gets removed from the board.
This one moves this way.
Yep, and now
this one moves towards the edge.
I already actually moved it towards the edge.
Ah.
I got a little ahead of you there, and I apologize. Now I'm going to place a wake tile. We place my wake tile. I move to the end of my wake. And then I draw a new tile.
All right. Oh, Daikaiju go again.
Oh, first they spin. And then you rolled a 6, so they don't move. They just spin.
Awesome. I haven't even considered my turn yet. But we'll make it straightforward, if you'll pardon the pun.
All right.
Luke, tell the people how they win.
The object of the game is to be the last person standing on the board. If your ship ever goes back off the board, you are out. If you're the active player and the Daikaiju moves adjacent to your wake, you're out. And if two ships collide together, both players are out.
Also, if the Daikaiju actually moves over your wake tile, you're out.
Yes, even if you're not the active player.
And that's one of the things that's interesting about the Daikaiju being added to the game. First, the board is bigger than regular Tsuro.
Yes, it is.
And regular Tsuro, once a tile was in play, it stayed in play. Here, as the monsters move around the board, they can eat up wake tiles, opening up spaces in the board, making it possible for you to stay in the game longer.
Yes. But yeah, last person standing is the winner. Like I said, it takes 20 to 40 minutes. This does play a little bit longer than regular Tsuro, only because you're adding in, rolling the dice, seeing if the Daikaiju move. In this case, because I rolled a 2, they do not. And then obviously playing your wake tile, which I am going to go definitely away from that nastiness there. Drawing a new wake tile, and then going to the next player.
Oh, yes. Oh, and I forgot to draw a wake tile last turn. 11.
They don't move.
Nobody goes. Doesn't change my move, though. I'm going to try and thread the needle.
And that, I rolled an 11. And that, for all intents and purposes, is Tsuro of the Sea. Tsuro of the Sea is on sale here at Kerwin's Game Store, right here in Catskill, New York.
2 to 8 players.
2 to 8 players. I believe MSRP on it is about $40. I'm not 100% sure. Please don't quote me on it. But it is definitely worth every single penny. The pieces are very well designed. Everything's good. It's a great, fast game. Very family friendly, and it plays really well. So yeah, thanks for watching this Let's Play, and we'll catch you next time.